that way, drive to here, please. There you go. Okay. Well, he's going to get part of the way. So yeah, if an auto drive course takes you through a yard, it's going to find another way around. Because yards are not fixed. I do not have the buildings in this yard where they are on New Farmer. And so, how do you plot a course through there? When you do that. Anyway, let's get this hay collected. Because then by the time we get the Valtra to field 41, we get that road up. He's already somewhere. He's going to do... I'll manually drive in there because he's obviously has the issues. And they try and avoid main road driving as well. How are we doing with maintenance? Is fine. Diesel is fine. I think we drive to the end of the footpath and that's where the entrance to the yard is. Okay. So it was 43, wasn't it, that we're trying to do? Short memory. 43. Okay, so we need to row 43 so we can collect everything on 43 so that first waypoint. Generate. And it starts over here. And as soon as it finished turning around, go. What are you doing, dude? I guess I just didn't line it up right. Okay, there you go. So he's going to get that done, and we are going to jump back in the class and collect another round of hay. So yeah, this should end up, we'll have 2 fields completely collected and, well, sorry, completely delivered but not collected, because, yes. And then, once that's all done, we can actually start collecting the fields that have already been delivered. Oh. And we're doing 26, 28. So running along the edge here, or running along the outer headland, it's only a half row. So it's a 7.7 metre row rather than a 15.4, which is why it's collecting so slowly. Blah, 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 35. Now, since I'm over here, I can nip through this gap in the hedges, and then up to here. So, I don't know, I suppose I could do the other 40, 41, because it's right there. And by doing that, yeah, we're collecting way behind delivery. So at some point we're going to be at the point where it doesn't matter which field I collect first, they're all done, or mostly done. I just need the grass off the field so that I can, so I don't lose access to it. Okay. Oh. Unfortunately, this is not a job that course player or a worker can do. 31 is 57 complete and 93% transported, field 31. Eventually we'll get credit for 103, and at that point I'll be able to claim it as soon as it's finished delivered. I suppose the further afield we get, of course, the more opportunity I have to transfer the hay via worker to the sell point. I have to do the unloading, I think, and then I can. What can I do? Yeah, once I've unloaded it, I can set it to worker to go back. The problem is collecting from the same field with multiple tractors means that they can get in each other's way, travelling to the sell point and back. Normally what I find, it's easier to drive and follow me than it is to send the workers cross country themselves. If I could guarantee that the worker is going to deliver and then be back at the field before I've finished filling whatever it is I'm working on, then yeah, that works. So things like a sugar beet harvest, I can harvest the sugar beet and that takes a while, and I can have a worker drive somewhere else and come back again before the sugar beet's all, the latest trailer's full. Anything else is kind of a logistical nightmare for workers unless you can work a circular course. So we go out to the north, we come back to the south type of thing. Okay. This is not going to fill up very fast collecting all of this. I think this came up at an angle. It checked complete when I went from a one headland to two headland track. It came up at a completely different angle, and I think the reason for that was where I set the course up, If you set the course up at your entry or the point you want the course to finish, it'll generally do a fairly square field. But if you mess up and sort of start somewhere else, especially in the middle of the field, you can end up with the main track being off compass. And so I think that's the problem I had there. I mean, it doesn't matter, we've ended up with all the rows that we needed, and this is all good. I have 2 rows left at the end of this, then we can race off to field 43 and start collecting that. And then once that's all collected, that's going to take a lot longer to collect, of course, because hey, it's not on the other side of the map. It's literally completely opposite where we want to deliver everything. Not even a sell point I can use for personal use outside of contract. Okay, Valtra's still working, that's good. How long's he got? He's got 5 minutes before he starts making a mess of things. I'll let him make a mess of things. It's going to be what it is. Can hit the full rows, I guess, because we've cleaned up most of the edges. Probably not going to get to the end of this one. So another thought here is if we get a larger forage wagon, I may consider putting a silage tank, silage additive tank on it, because that does give us a 10% extra yield, and specifically now that is our farm income. We've already got a silage tank or a silage additive tank on the forager. Oh, that was a thing that came out this week, foraging as a contract. I have not played with that. I have not added it to this playthrough. It would be interesting to see how that works out. Because obviously a forage contract, you're using a forage harvester to create chaff. So is it going to say you deliver the chaff, you're good? Is it going to say, well, you know, when you're doing a baling contract for silage, the silage magically happens instantly. There's no cooling off, there's no fermenting period. Well, you can't do that from a forage wagon. Or a forage harvester. Also, because we're playing Maize Plus, that particular mod might not work with Maize Plus because we have whole crop silage, we have grass silage, and we have maize silage. And we have fresh maize, we have whole crop, and we have conditioned grass as the raw materials. So if I want to add that mod, I'm gonna have to be very careful, and I'm actually gonna have to test it outside of this playthrough just to make sure it doesn't mess anything up. Or I'm gonna have to look up some of Disturb Simulation's latest videos and see what he says about it. And as I said, it's an interesting idea, but foraging doesn't instantaneously make silage, which, you know, the fudge for a bale wrapping contract is it instantly creates silage, so you're getting credited for the stuff. Obviously, the nice sort of cheat about that is you can any excess bales you create are instantly silage. So if you're a little bit short of silage, you can do a bale wrapping contract and get some silage bales that you're desperately in need of, because you don't have to wait for them to ferment. Okay, I don't think I've got 35,000 litres left on this field, just saying. But do I trek halfway across the map with 20,000 litres, or do I take this down to the store, sell it, and then run empty so I can bring the most back with me? Kind of strikes me as a little bit silly going all the way across the map, collecting 10,000 litres and then travelling all the way back. And Valtra is complete. So I'll finish collecting what I can here. There's a section down here at the entrance. It's not a lot. Oh, I missed my turn. Yeah, really negligible. Okay, turn that off, lift that up. And we'll go find the Valtra. Okay, the Valtra's done on this field. How are we doing with contracts? 31 and 43. He's just done 43. I think 41 is progressing. So I might as well do 41. Because by the time... where am I going? Right, 41. I'll do 41 next, although it's not completely ready. Oh, steering is backwards because I've actually got the seat facing the wrong way. Because why not? Okay, I'm going to take this down to steering the wrong way. This corner so that it ends here. Squeak. Okay. Course plan. Clear. Course. Do that thing. And I'm facing that way. It is to... I don't know. I can't even figure it out. Let's go backwards. Backwards is going to be good for a minute. Yes. Okay. field start is here, and this time I am going to line us up. Oh. Assuming I can get the trees out of the way. Okay. First waypoint selected. That should be good. And go. Okay, so he's doing his thing. Back to wherever I am here. So yeah, 21,000 litres, or 22,000 litres, we're like 13,000 vacancy, but the fewer partial trips I have to make from the far end of the map, probably better. It does mean that the last couple of contracts we finish delivering are going to be, again, fairly close to the delivery point. There's one just down there somewhere. So that's just going to be run up this road and do the drop off. And as I said, I don't know if any are going to the bale sell point, which is straight across the main road here and up to the edge of the map. Still. And I can always look for who's offering the best price for hay at the moment, because obviously once all the contracts are delivered, I can choose where I deliver hay from that point onwards. This one's kind of convenient because you approach it downhill, so loaded wagon doesn't get dragged by gravity. Empty wagon isn't quite so heavy. Alrighty. So, currently got standard tyres on this. Might put weights and wides on eventually. We've got weights and wides on the Valtra. But I could take the weights off the Valtra since I'm not intending on using it too much for heavy field work. It's going to be mowing mostly and rowing, and you don't need weights for that unless it's raining, in which case you probably shouldn't be mowing or rowing. Anyway, 15 minutes rowing the current field. Drive up the hedges. So the other fix to all of my headland woes would be to chop down all of the hedges, which is something I started doing on Maypole, and it was a pain in the butt. Alternatively, I could chop down the hedges and put grass mounds at the edge of the fields. A lot of fields were planted this year. There's one there that got limed. It has not been planted. I don't believe there's any planting contracts left because planting season's done. So, there's some more wages. Oh, good grief, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so probably not going to get all of these delivered today. But we're in Scotland, it's June, the sun is probably not going to set until 10-11 o'clock, so we've still got about 5 hours of daylight, which at 3 times is still an hour and 40 minutes of real time to to do the stuff before it's too dark to work. But yeah, we'll keep going for now. Coming up 11 o'clock real time. I will keep going until I need to eat, which may be sooner than I expect, or when I need to eat, or when I need to relieve my back pressure. And here we are again. Okay. This would be the outer headland. It's interesting. Because it looks like the inner headland at some points has potentially clipped some rows. Not sure. Anyway. Not sure how much grass is on this field. I mean, this is a half row and we're already 10,000. I'm not even halfway round. So the central rows will probably be up around 25,000 per row. So yeah, for the rest of this game year, there may be purchases of equipment and there may be purchases of those grass fields around the farm. But most of what we're going to be doing for, out to November is creating silage and selling it every 3 months, every year for the corn. And maybe towards winter, we'll start looking into potentially buying fields that we can grow grains on and switching out to at least a partial grain farm. We are full already. So once round of almost non-negligible 7 meter width collection has left us full. So again, we're probably going to get good yield off this one. Steer outwards. Made it. And of course, the longer the wagon I get, the harder that's going to be. Okay, it's 4 o'clock now. It might be worth looking at what's on the store sales. Not that I can do anything about it right now. Diesel, we're full. We're good. Somewhere up here, I can pull this track. It's the one I used to take to the store, but really it's a little bit out of the way.